Actress Brittany Murphy, who began her career in the early 1990s and became well known for her roles in Girl Interrupted, Clueless, and 8 Mile, has died at the age of 32. She was pronounced dead at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center just after 10 a.m. 2 hours earlier, rescue workers were called to the home she shares with her husband, British screenwriter Simon Monjack.
Just 5 months after Hollywood actress Brittany Murphy was found dead, police have now found the body of her husband. The body of British screenwriter Simon Monjack was found in the master bedroom of his Hollywood Hills home.
The fact that she was in fear for her life, what does that mean? Compounded by this report that I have here, a toxicology list from the crime lab that looked at her hair sample, barium, aluminum, manganese, cobalt, arsenic. Take a listen to what her father had to say.
I have a feeling that there was a definite murder situation here. She was murdered.
Hey, what's up? I'm really excited about today's video because I am a big fan of Brittany Murphy's work.
Brittany! Brittany! Hey, Brittany! Brittany, right here, right here, Brittany!
I probably would not have said that when she was alive because Brittany Murphy was one of those very underrated actresses. Because of her bubbly personality, she was put in a lot of romantic comedies, chick flicks, whatever you want to call them. But I was watching her in Girl Interrupted.
I just want to know, just tell us a little bit about the character that you are.
I can tell you what she's clinically diagnosed as. She's in the hospital because she has agoraphobia and she's addicted to laxatives.
And she is a great actress. But at the time of her passing, because of her husband Simon Monjack and because of rumors behind the set, she really wasn't respected, and she was doing these awful movies that went straight to DVD. Remember those? So that's kind of sad. But before we talk about her mysterious passing that has a lot more than I even knew about, like government involvement and stuff, we have to start from the beginning. Brittany Murphy was born in Georgia to her mother Sharon and her father Angelo. Angelo was in the mafia, and so he was in and out of prison and in and out of Brittany's life, and Sharon and Angelo actually divorced when Brittany was 2 years old. So Sharon raised Brittany as a single mother. Brittany grew up in Edison, New Jersey. She attended the Verne Fowler School of Dance and Theater Arts in Colonia, New Jersey in 1982. From about the age of 5, that school started training her in acting, dancing, and singing. And Brittany didn't know if she was going to grow up to be a movie star or a dancer, a singer, because she was good at pretty much everything. During that time, Brittany would have her mother drive her to New York City to audition for commercials, and she got a few spots.
Just look at this place. I love what you've done.
This is how exciting life would be if everything in life was as exciting as Twix.
And being encouraged by that, Sharon and Brittany moved out to Los Angeles, where Brittany got roles in some TV shows like Boy Meets World.
What am I gonna do? Topanka's my best friend. She's always my partner. You know, there are so few people who get me.
And Sister Sister.
Right. Look, I don't want to get you guys into any trouble.
I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to see you.
I know, but we gotta say goodbye. They're really in love. Who cares?
Brittany's big break though came when she was 18 years old and she was cast in the 1995 hit Clueless. And because of that character and the actresses that were in that movie with Brittany, this gave Brittany some body image issues that would last throughout her life. In that movie, she played the ugly new girl who needed a makeover from the pretty popular girls. After Clueless, Brittany did some indie films. She starred in Girl Interrupted with Angelina Jolie. She voiced the character in King of the Hill of Luann from 1999 till the show ended in 2009. It seemed like Brittany could play both serious as well as comedic roles. It's like she was good at everything. In 2002, Brittany dyed her hair blonde, she got her teeth fixed, and she lost a lot of weight and came out looking dramatically different.
She said, we're all made in Hollywood, fake loving and hating on silver screens, believing everything we come to see. Go outside, it feels so good. We're loving and hating and making scenes. Now we just see everything we believe. We just see
I thought she was gorgeous, you know, with the sunken eyes and the raspy voice, but of course in Hollywood you can't look good just because. So the tabloids started speculating that she was addicted to cocaine and maybe she had an eating disorder. But Brittany denied all this and said, "I'm the same size I was in Clueless. It's just the way that your face changes as you get older. This is my body and I'm proud of it. I'm healthy." Brittany's denial did little to stop the rumors though, and these rumors would really bother her personally throughout her life. Brittany from the beginning didn't have the very best of luck with movies. She was always outshadowed by her co-stars. You know, in Girl Interrupted, Angelina Jolie ended up getting an Oscar, so people almost forgot that Brittany was in the movie. Brittany did some of her best work in the movie Don't Say a Word. She played a schizophrenic woman in a mental hospital.
I'll never tell. I'll never tell any of you.
But the movie came out the week of 9/11, so no one really saw it. Brittany Murphy played Eminem's girlfriend in the movie 8 Mile, and she actually dated Eminem in real life for a bit. After 8 Mile, Brittany starred in some romantic comedies, and because of her bubbly, you know, giggly personality, she got typecasted to do these sorts of movies, and they all did well. Some of the bigger ones were Uptown Girls, Little Black Book, and Just Married with Ashton Kutcher. And Brittany actually dated Ashton Kutcher for a few months, and it was very public, and they were pretty much the Hollywood it couple at the time.
The storyline is kind of predictable, but it doesn't feel at all cliche once you get into the film because it's very quirky. You guys trying to stare me down?
No, we were just trying to be like really straight and serious
Oh,
for the entire time. We were just going to be like somber and serious, but she was like,
and you have a great question.
Go
on, please. To me, I think what makes it work is, I know.
Is that you're so freaking hot?
No, is being able to do scenes with him and being in it with him. I mean, to be with an extraordinary actor. Stop it now. Silly goose.
Brittany's personal life was also quite busy during this time also. Sharon actually got breast cancer in 2004, and so Brittany would pretty much take care of her. Even despite her busy schedule, she would stop what she was doing and care for her mother. She got engaged to a talent manager named Jeff K. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. But that relationship ended, and shortly thereafter she got engaged to someone else.
So anyway, you're engaged now.
That is true.
Yeah.
And his name is Joe Macaluso. Some of his family's actually in the audience right now.
Oh, very nice.
So,
what does Joe, how did you meet Joe?
We had worked in a film together, and he's this really, really good-looking guy. And I thought he was probably, you know, the guy. He always looks like he's sort of been tossed, you know, a bit in the.
What do you mean been tossed?
He always came to work kind of looking like, hey. So I thought he was the guy that was with all the girls, you know, that kind of guy.
Tossed in
around
a good way.
In a way. Well, it depends on how you look at it. But so, you know, but he was really nice, and he rescued this puppy one day at work. And anywho, long story short, cut to 6 months later. I know, sorry, postcard version. 6 months later, it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
My mama was very sick. She had a terrible case of breast cancer, which I suppose you can't have a non-terrible case of it. But sorry, making a joke out of breast cancer is won't work.
Well, how is she doing?
She's
better
doing
now?
Wonderful,
Good.
thank you. And she was in the hospital, and I really wanted to have it was Christmas time, and I wanted to make sure that we had beautiful decorations. And he was on set. I asked Electric, who do I go to, and he was the best boy grip, and they said talk to Joe Mack. So I did, and he made our house gorgeous, absolutely beautiful.
So the guy comes out and decorates your house for Christmas?
Yes, with his other friend Joe, and it looks like a winter wonderland. It was stunning, and I'm a very one-man woman type of gal, so I'm with someone, and then.
Now, were you engaged to another guy at the time?
Yes, I was.
Who was that guy?
That guy we're actually very good friends. He's one of my dear friends.
Right.
So after myself and that former gentleman.
In 2006, Brittany starred in Quentin Tarantino's Sin City. That same year, she also got to show people she had some singing talents when she released the song Faster Kill Pussycat with DJ Oakenfold.
That was the song right there that Paul was playing, wasn't it?
I know it.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Did we get close to it?
Yes, you did.
All right,
you were right on the money.
Huge dance club hit.
As always, can you believe that?
And you are singing lead on it.
Isn't that just a riot?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm real happy about it.
She also played Gloria in Happy Feet, where she got to show off her singing chops even more.
All my years and believing you, I just can't get no relief.
After 2006, though, Brittany's career really started to stall. She wasn't getting the big roles that she used to anymore. She was still, of course, working all the time, but she was getting cast on these really awful B-movies that went straight to DVD or TV. Ramen Girl was really cute, though. In May of 2007, Brittany married British screenwriter Simon Monjack in a private Jewish ceremony in Los Angeles. This may or may not have been the reason for her career stalling. Simon Monjack was not a very good guy. Simon called himself a screenwriter, a director, and a makeup artist. But the truth is, he was about as much a movie director as I am. Simon wrote, directed, and produced a B-movie in 2000, but his only big screen credit was a story credit in the movie Factory Girl. And the director of Factory Girl said that Simon really had nothing to do with the movie. He said that Simon filed a false lawsuit claiming that Factory Girl had stolen his script, and because of this, they couldn't go on with the movie while the lawsuit was still pending, so they gave him a story credit just to make him go away. Simon also claimed to be the heir to a huge fortune, and he had 2 warrants out for his arrest in Virginia. For credit card fraud, he also had unpaid legal bills, an unpaid civil judgment against him by a British investment firm, and evictions from at least 4 different properties. So Brittany didn't know all this about Simon, of course, when they first met. She came to learn this stuff over time. People would tell her, but she just didn't want to hear it. And who knows, for all we know, Simon could have been great to Brittany. I know several
bad hombres here
who have been good for that one special person. Whatever the case, the media in Hollywood really didn't like Simon, and they nicknamed him Simon Monjack. They basically said he wasn't good enough for Brittany Murphy, and they mocked him for his physical appearance, which is kind of unfair. People love who they love. But when Brittany's dated people like Ashton Kutcher and Eminem, I can see how they would make that comparison. After they got married, Simon moved in with Brittany and her mother in Brittany's gorgeous Hollywood Hills mansion that was once owned by Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. 6 weeks before her death, Brittany, her mom Sharon, and Simon, and Brittany's little Maltese puppy all flew to Puerto Rico, where Brittany was set to star in a low-budget horror movie called The Caller. Her time on the set would be short-lived though, and she would walk off after just 1 day. Reports surfaced that Brittany was actually fired from the movie. Supposedly, Simon was drunk and belligerent with the director, and when Brittany came to defend him, she was fired. We don't know if those reports were true or not, but whatever the case, they got Brittany fired from the movie Happy Feet. But by this time, Brittany was kind of over Hollywood. She thought that the mansion she lived in was cursed, and she would often ask to stay at hotels just because she didn't want to stay there. She wanted to move to New York with Simon to start a family. Back in Puerto Rico, after getting fired or leaving the collar, Brittany, Simon, and Sharon decided to stay in Puerto Rico for a couple weeks as like a vacation rather than go straight back to LA. And while they were there, both Simon and Sharon got sick with some kind of flu-like illness. Brittany did not get sick, at that time anyway. When they got back on November 28th at LAX, Simon had what he called a mild heart attack. Brittany would tell the press that it was actually an asthma attack. Brittany would give her final interview on December 3rd.
Filmed on the same lot as Psycho. How was that? How did that come into play? Did anything eerie happen?
Not that I can recall at all. We had a very tight work schedule, and everyone...
17 days.
It was very quick, so we just were professional and worked quickly and efficiently, and thank goodness everyone was kind. No one generally tends to be on a set that's an independent film that has a short schedule unless they really want to be. And
why do you think June...
Everyone wanted to be there, and that was a pleasure.
Yeah. And why did June... Do you think June ultimately cheated?
By the way, Phantom of the Opera was filmed in the exact same studio, which is no longer there. It was the oldest on the Universal lot.
I heard
and
it was the last production.
Lost in the fire. Very sad. It was so beautiful, my goodness. And that ambience, of course, fed into a film such as this. I'm sorry, you were asking me about June. Thank you. Can I have your hair in my next life, please?
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No. God bless you.
Can I be you in my next life?
No problem.
Thank you.
Shortly after that, Brittany got the same bug that Simon and Sharon got in Puerto Rico, except that Brittany's sickness kept getting worse. She was gasping for breath, and her lips were turning blue due to lack of oxygen. This is kind of triggering in 2020 when I'm filming this. Despite all this, Brittany refused to go to the hospital. She was paranoid that the press would find out and say that she was on drugs or something, so Simon and Sharon treated Brittany themselves with over-the-counter as well as prescription medicine. And Brittany did make a doctor's appointment for the following Monday. However, she would never keep that appointment. December 20th of 2009, Brittany woke up complaining of stomach pains. She told her mom, "Mommy, I'm dying. I love you." She went to the bathroom around 7:30 and was found about a half hour later unconscious. Simon and Sharon tried to revive Brittany by dragging her to the shower and turning on the cold water, but when Brittany started throwing up, Sharon called 911.
Fire Department 97, what's the address of the emergency?
1895 Rising Glen Road.
What's the phone number you're calling from? Tell me exactly what happened.
Oh, somebody's passed out.
Somebody what?
My daughter's passed out. We're doing mouth to mouth. Please get here quick,
okay,
please.
okay. All right, we're going to. How old is your daughter?
She's 30. Please hurry.
She's 30? Okay, she's with you now?
Yes, there's someone coming.
Yeah, ma'am. You don't have to yell. We're going to send somebody out there, okay? Is she awake?
Please, no.
Is she breathing?
No.
Okay, so somebody's doing mouth to mouth?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Ma'am, did somebody see what happened?
No.
Okay, listen to me carefully. Is there a defibrillator available? Is there a defibrillator available?
Defibrillator, do we, Eddie? No.
Okay, listen to me carefully. We're on our way. I'm going to give you instructions. Are you right by her now?
Yes.
Are you right by her now?
Yes, her husband.
Okay, listen carefully. I want you to lay her on her back.
She is already.
On the floor.
She is already.
And no pillows under the head. Remove any pillows. Is there any, okay?
No pillows under the head.
No pillows under the head. Okay. Now I want you to take a look inside of her mouth. Is there anything? Kneel next to her and
Tons and tons of water.
Okay, turn her to the
Cold
side.
water.
Turn her to the side and wipe out her mouth and nose.
Wipe out her mouth and nose.
Is there anything in her mouth?
Yes. Is there anything in her mouth now? Oh my God.
Is there anything in her mouth?
God.
Is there anything in her mouth, ma'am?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, listen to me carefully. Place your hand on her forehead and your other hand under her neck and tilt her head back.
Place your hand on her forehead, the other hand on your neck, and tilt her head back.
Put your ear next to her mouth.
Put your ear next to her mouth.
Can you feel or hear any breathing?
Can you feel or hear any breathing?
Can you feel or hear any breathing? Yes or no, ma'am? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Just a minute, please.
It just takes a second. Can you feel or hear any breathing?
Can you hear anything, Simon?
Yes or no?
Yes or no? No!
Okay, all right. Listen to me carefully. I'm going to tell you how to do compressions, okay? All right. I'm going to tell you how to do compressions. Make sure she's flat on her back on the ground.
Flat on her back.
Okay. Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone.
He's doing it.
In the center of her chest. You still need to listen to me, okay?
Okay, go.
Feel the heel. Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone in the center of her chest, right between the nipples.
Between the nipples.
Put your other hand on top of that hand.
The other hand on top of that hand.
Okay, push down firmly 2 inches with only the heel of your lower hand touching the chest. Now listen carefully, okay? Pump the chest hard and fast at least twice per second. We're going to do this 600 times.
He is.
600 times.
He hasn't stopped.
600 times, okay? Just keep doing compressions, okay, until help can take over. Let the chest come all the way up between pumps. Count out loud so I can count with you, okay?
Count out loud.
I want to hear. It's got to be at this rate, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keep going at that rate.
8, 9.
That's too slow.
Too slow.
11, 12.
Too slow.
Okay, he's going.
14.
You're
got to be a little faster than that.
He's counting every other pump.
18.
But he's got to count each pump. 1, 2.
21. 22. Brittany.
Oh my God, oh my God.
He's got to keep pumping, ma'am.
Keep pumping. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Then count them out. Count each pump. Count each pump. Is the door open, ma'am?
Is the door open? No. I'll go get it. We have to open the gate.
Okay. Somebody has to keep pumping on her chest.
Okay, he is.
If he can, stop. Okay.
Don't stop it. He don't stop.
And count them out loud so I can count with you.
Count out loud. Okay. We'll hear the gate ring. Please, why aren't they here?
Ma'am, right now you got to just keep on pumping on her chest, okay?
Yes. Oh my God.
This is a house, right?
Yes.
Okay. Keep pumping on her chest.
Back on Rising Glen Road.
Okay, keep pumping on her chest. I can't hear him, ma'am.
Keep pumping. He's not counting anymore. He's pumping. Trust me.
Okay, but I need to know where he's at about.
What number are you at, honey? Clara, what number is Daddy at? Okay.
Ma'am.
What?
Okay, he's got to count out loud so I can hear.
He's probably at 200.
No, he's probably like about 100 right now. So count to keep pumping. It's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
3.
I don't hear him pumping, ma'am.
6, 7. That's the rhythm. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5.
That's a little too quick, ma'am.
Oh no, it's a little too quick. Never.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ma'am, I can't hear him pumping. I need to know where he's at, okay? Ma'am? Ma'am, I don't know where he's at. I need to know where he's at. Ma'am?
Yes.
I need for him to give me some kind of number so I know where he's at. Okay?
What number are you at, baby? You know, he doesn't know.
Can he start counting at about 200 right now?
Start counting at 200, honey. 7, 8, 9, 10.
Keep going.
God, oh my God. Brittany, please come back.
Ma'am? Is he still pumping on her chest?
Yes.
Okay, needs to continue, okay?
He is.
Did anybody see what happened?
I do.
Ma'am? Did anybody see what happened?
She was dizzy. She couldn't walk right. She's had a cold. Oh my God.
Is she taking any kind of medications at all?
What?
Is she taking no medications, nothing? Needs to keep pumping on her chest, ma'am.
Oh, hold on, please. I just want to make sure it's not the other phone ringing. Hold on. Oh my God. We're counting up, baby. 3:20. Okay, that's the gate.
Are they there, ma'am?
Yeah.
Are they there now?
Yes.
Okay, is it still pumping on her chest? You gotta keep doing that until they take over, okay?
So yeah, that 911 call is hard to listen to, and that's the reason why I will not believe that Sharon had anything to do with this, unless she was a better actress than Brittany herself. Brittany Murphy was pronounced dead at 10:04 a.m. at the hospital after going into cardiac arrest. Brittany was buried in a cemetery that had a lot of other celebrities, the Forest Lawn Cemetery in the Hollywood Hills, during a Christmas Eve ceremony. Originally, Simon and Sharon refused an autopsy on Brittany, but that was overruled by the coroner. The autopsy found that Brittany died of pneumonia, and it listed anemia and acute drug intoxication as contributing factors. The coroner concluded that Brittany probably died of the same bug that Simon and Sharon had in Puerto Rico. A lot of both over-the-counter and prescription medications were found in Brittany's system, and people might say, oh, that's a lot of medication for a 32-year-old, but we don't always know everything about someone, right? So Brittany Murphy actually had a heart murmur that she was diagnosed with when she was a teenager, so she was on medicine for that. She also took medicine for her female time. She was also in a car accident after Clueless, and that left her with chronic pain for the rest of her life, so she was taking medicine for that. But there wasn't an explanation for everything in Brittany's system. There were 4 drugs in her system that were used to treat anxiety or epilepsy, and Brittany had neither of those conditions. She also did not have a prescription. I have anxiety, and I had to take just one of them. Makes me feel so tired and out of it. I can't imagine someone all bubbly and stuff like Brittany being on 4 of them. That's insane to me. Police discovered that Brittany had medications filled for her under the pseudonym of Lola Manuel. A local pharmacist who filled Brittany's prescriptions has come forward. He said that he started working with Sharon Murphy and was filling like 7 or 8 different medications for her before Sharon asked if he could start filling medications for Brittany and Simon. But at a certain point, the pharmacist believed that they were doctor shopping and told Brittany that she had more pills in their house than he did in his entire pharmacy, and basically told them to take their business elsewhere. Simon's mother, so Brittany's mother-in-law, who is a rather shady character, basically called Sharon a pill popper and said that Brittany just grew up in that culture with her mother where there was no fear of taking any kind of prescription medication for anything because Sharon was on pills all the time. In her will, Brittany left everything to her mother and nothing to Simon. 4 months after Brittany Murphy died, Simon Monjack died in the same Hollywood Hills home.
Police have now found the body of her husband. The body of British screenwriter Simon Monjack was found in the master bedroom of his Hollywood Hills home late Sunday.
There were no illicit drugs located, just prescription meds.
Authorities tell the AP the 39-year-old's body was found by Murphy's mother just before midnight. At this time, police believe his death is from natural causes, but an autopsy will be performed in the coming days.
Oh, he was a despondent husband last night. The family is devastated over his passing, and like I said, it is under investigation.
An autopsy for Simon revealed he died pretty much the same way Brittany did, of acute pneumonia and anemia and prescription medication. He was also a lot more unhealthy than Brittany was, though. He had sleep apnea, so he was using like a breathing machine at night. He had heart problems, liver disease, and even some neurological problems. It was also discovered by police that Simon and Brittany's mother Sharon were sleeping in the same bed after Brittany died. This, along with pictures of those two, made a lot of people think that they were having an affair after Brittany died. Everyone grieves in different ways, and to me it's odd that they would even share a house with her mother, so the fact that they were sleeping together doesn't seem that odd to me, but that's just my opinion. In 2011, Sharon Murphy sued the builders of the Hollywood Hills mansion, claiming that toxic mold had killed her daughter and son-in-law. She settled with the builders outside of court. The deaths of Brittany and Simon, though, just kept getting more mysterious. Anyway, remember Brittany's father, Angelo? They weren't very close during Brittany's life, but he came out of the woodwork, and along with a woman named Julia Davis, he made allegations that Brittany and Simon were poisoned, and the government covered it up.
New shocking allegations coming from her father, who says she was poisoned. And Murphy's father, Angelo Bertolotti, and family friend Julia Davis are joining us now from Los Angeles. To the both of you, thank you so much. I know this is difficult. I'm sorry for your loss. We appreciate you being with us because this is really shocking to a lot of people, hearing that you believe that she was poisoned. Mr. Bertolotti, why do you believe that? Why do you think that she was poisoned?
Well, it's very suspicious, and I read the reports on the toxicology reports, and everything sounds very, very, very more or less suspicious. And I feel she was poisoned. There's no question about that. And I feel she was murdered.
Julia, was there something specific in those reports that he's talking about that leads you to believe that it was poison and not natural causes?
Yes, from the very beginning, AJ always believed that there was something very odd about Brittany's passing, and then reviewing autopsy reports, we could see that there were multiple symptoms that would usually go with poisoning. We do believe that it was poisoning, and we would like to have it properly investigated, since the coroner never tested for poisons originally.
Well, that's pretty shocking. Angelo, do you suspect somebody responsible for poisoning her? And who?
No, I don't. I don't suspect anyone. Actually, I do really, but I rather not speak about that. The question is, the fact is that she was poisoned and she was murdered, as far as I'm concerned.
Angela, how about her husband, Simon? He died also very young age. Has any additional testing been done to look at his death as well?
There hasn't been any testing done yet, but we are in touch with Simon's mother, Linda, and she very much wants to have his remains tested as well. It is our belief that Simon was also poisoned by the same means, because both Simon and Brittany exhibited identical symptoms, and
they had everything to live for, and it was snatched away from them.
This morning, an emotional plea from the mother-in-law of clueless actress Brittany Murphy.
Don't cry. I'm sorry. I do think something is extremely wrong. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right.
Linda Monjack telling ABC News she wants a full investigation into Murphy's death and the death of her own son. Simon Monjack was married to Murphy and died just 5 months after she did, under similar circumstances.
That, to me, would have alarm bells. But nobody seemed to take that up.
On January 11th of 2012, Angelo filed a lawsuit requesting that the coroner turn over a sample of Brittany's hair for private testing. And he asked the private coroner to specifically test for heavy metals in Brittany's hair because of the way that Brittany and Simon were acting the way before they died. This private coroner claimed that Brittany had,
which tested samples of the star's hair and says it found high levels of 10 heavy metals. The results suggested one possible explanation would be an exposure to these metals or toxins administered by a third-party perpetrator with likely criminal intent.
The problem is that these same chemicals are found in hair dye. And Brittany got her hair dyed a lot, and she had been doing so for a very long time. So the LA coroner stood by their findings and said that Brittany was not poisoned. But the real crazy stuff happens when this Julia Davis woman becomes involved. Julia Davis is a government whistleblower, and she is married to a Hollywood producer. Julia actually worked as a customs and border enforcement official at the San Ysidro port of entry. Julia claimed that people from enemy or, harmful people were being let into the border and they weren't being vetted like the other immigrants. Their fingerprints weren't taken or anything like that. So she told her supervisor, and after that she was fired. She also claimed, as a result, that herself as well as her friends and family were all subject to stalking by the government.
After I won this case against Homeland Security, they land a Black Hawk helicopter.
And this is caught on tape. This is literally caught on tape.
Exactly. Our neighbor, Matthew Judd, saw this was happening and stepped out of his home and started filming the raid with his camera. And at one point during the raid, he actually realized that the agents have noticed them being filmed. And he said on camera, "Oh no, they saw me." And he walked into the house but continued filming through his window. And yes, he did videotape the raid where a Black Hawk helicopter had landed by our home, and 27 men, special response team and other agents, 27 Homeland Security agents and 1 U.S. Marshal. They have surrounded the residence. They had broken down one door. They had stormed it from all directions. It was a commando-style operation.
The witness who filmed the raid on your house, the footage which you feature in your documentary, he later died of mysterious circumstances. Is that correct?
Yes, the very neighbor who filmed the raid, who realized that the agents noticed him during the filming, he was extremely terrified of the situation. And when he finally came to me with the tape, he was literally shaking. He said he was very worried about handing it over, but finally decided to do it because it was the right thing to do. And he wrote a statement where he also described what he witnessed, described the agents taking boxes out of the house when they didn't even have a search warrant, and they later tried to deny taking things. And only weeks after turning the tape over to us, the neighbor, Matthew Judd, who was only 25 years old, was suddenly found dead in his home. And he was alone and just found on his couch. And years later, there still hadn't been a proper investigation. His death certificate says that the disposition is pending, and there is no coherent explanation as to what exactly happened to this young man.
Julia Davis claimed that Brittany Murphy was a good friend of hers. She had spoken out in her defense and was set to be a witness at her trial. And because of this, Brittany and Simon were put on a government watch list and eventually poisoned because of their involvement in all this.
Is the death of Brittany Murphy, was her death related to your case?
It possibly could have been because Brittany was named as a witness in my case. One of the 54 investigations against me included Department of Homeland Security claiming that Brittany Murphy told them that I was working on a film with my husband during the same time when I was working for Homeland Security. And Brittany confirmed that that was a lie, that she never made such a statement. And as soon as she refuted Homeland Security's allegations, her life became a living nightmare.
And she reported this to the Hollywood press, that she was being followed, that helicopters were following her, and they mocked her. And then she died under very mysterious circumstances. A healthy young actress. God knows Hollywood stars have a very low shelf life, but she was not involved in the lifestyle that would attribute to that. And she winds up dead, and so does her husband.
Yes, because she reported to the Hollywood Reporter, which printed a story called The Less Difficult Days of Brittany Murphy. She had told Alex Van Block of the Hollywood Reporter that she was being followed by helicopters and is wiretapped, and she was made fun of and called paranoid or being on drugs, and had lost jobs because of that, and her career had spiraled out of control. The Homeland Security tried to deport her husband just the way they tried to deport me. And there are a lot of similarities. The same office of ICE, also from San Diego.
Immigration Customs Enforcement.
Exactly, Immigration Customs Enforcement. And they had also were planning to bring marriage fraud charges against Brittany and Simon that we recently found that out through FOIA requests. So the similarities are endless. So even after they tried to deport her husband, that wasn't over yet. The Homeland Security was still planning to bring more charges.
Sharon Murphy claims that Brittany did not know Julia Davis. She was not friends with her and didn't even know who she was. Whether anything Julia Davis said is true or not, I have no idea. But I do believe that Brittany actually did know Julia, and she believed the things that Julia was saying were true. The reason I say this is because several sources say that Brittany and Simon's mansion had the security of Fort Knox, and that Brittany and Simon were both a little bit paranoid and scared in the months before they died and rarely left that mansion. They weren't scared of obsessed fans or paparazzi. They were actually scared that their house was bugged and that helicopters were flying outside their house. Simon even hired a private investigator. Angelo Bertolotti died in 2019, and his children, so Brittany's half-siblings, have taken up his Justice for Brittany cause, or whatever you want to call it. Sharon Murphy sold Brittany's house for $3 million and auctioned off a lot of her things online. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. What happened to Brittany? Do you believe she died naturally, or do you believe she was killed? And if so, by who?
Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.
We're all made in Hollywood, fake loving and hating on silver screens, believing everything we come to see. Go outside, it feels so good. We're loving and hating and making scenes. Now we just see everything we believe.